Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. So, director Tim Burton, well known to a lot of people for a lot of great movies, has decided to call it quits with Walt Disney. That's it for him. He stated he's not going to make any more Walt Disney movies. And now you may be asking, why is that? We want to get into this relatively short article and find out why. So let's see what the deal is here. And it says, director Tim Burton said he is finished making movies for the Walt Disney Company, describing working for the studio like being trapped in a, quote, horrible big circus. In a conversation over the weekend at the Limour Festival in Lyon, France, where he received a career award, the filmmaker revealed that his 2019 live-action version of Dumbo likely marked the end of his long-running association with Disney. My history is that I started out there, Burton said, according to a Deadline report. I was hired and fired like several times throughout my career there. The thing about Dumbo is that's why I think my days with Disney are done. I realized that I was a Dumbo, that I was working in this horrible big circus and I needed to escape. That movie is quite autobiographical at a certain level. Over the years, Burton has made a number of movies with Disney, including the 2010 box office smash Alice in Wonderland, which I personally didn't get a chance to see, but some people have said it was good. But anyway, he said Disney has changed tremendously in recent years. You don't say. It's gotten to be very consolidated. There's less room for different types of things, he reportedly said, adding he would never do a Marvel superhero movie. I can only deal with one universe. I can't deal with a multi-universe. The Walt Disney Company has come under fire in recent months for embracing radical LGBTQ and gender politics. The company picked a political fight with Florida by opposing the state's anti-grooming law, the Parental Rights in Education law, which forbids the teaching of sexuality and radical gender ideology to children in kindergarten through third grade. And for whatever reason, the people are having a hard time understanding that that's immorally wrong. It's like, well, what's up? It just goes to show you how brainwashed people have become. As Breitbart News reported, Disney CEO Bob Chapek caved to a woke group of employees. Amazing. These small group of people, you cave into them. I just don't understand why these corporations and businesses fall for this small little marginalized group of people hooping and hollering, farting and pooting over what they want. You fall for it and then you start giving into it. Most people that go to see your movies, do I have to say it like that? I hope these people watch. Most people that go to see your movies are heterosexual. They don't care if you don't have a bunch of transgenderism or gay. They don't care. They just want to see a good movie or a good cartoon. When is you going to wake up and see that? Let's go on. I'm going to read it again. Disney CEO caved to a woke group of employees who demanded the company take a stand against the Florida law, promising to continue fighting to get it repealed. Shares of Disney are down nearly 35% so far this year. And that's the end of the article. And this is what's crazy. It's like he says he's going to continue to fight to get it repealed. And I had to ask this question. Are these people offering them a lot of money? Oh, of course they're not. They're employees. So you're going to let a group of employees make you nothing. Let me calm down. Calm down, man. Come on. But, look, I'm not going to even say that's unfortunate. I'll put it like this. I'll say it's unfortunate on the part of Tim Burton to say that he's not going to make movies, for them anymore. In that sense, because he probably would have gotten a lot of money. So in that sense, it's unfortunate. But it seems to me that his decision to no longer make these kind of movies or movies in that particular field or related to that particular field is a case of a moral decision, if you will. Like, I don't want to deal with this kind of stuff anymore. I want to make movies that I think, this is what I'm reading from him, that I think that a significant number of people want to go see. So, but Walt Disney no longer wants to do that, so I'm out. Now, let me say this. Quiet as it may be kept, Walt Disney and Walt Disney Company, per se, according to some researchers, has always been involved in some nefarious things. It has been said by some researchers and some conspiracy theorists that Walt Disney himself was involved in a secret society. I'm not going to name the secret society, but he was involved in a secret society, and that an occult secret society, and that many of the cartoons and movies that was produced by Walt Disney always had some sexually subversive content in it. You just couldn't recognize it. But according to these conspiracy theorists and according to these researchers, if you analyzed it, you would see the content is clearly sexual in its endeavors. And I got a chance to actually see some of this type of stuff, and it is sexual. So they have always, according to these researchers, they have always been involved, Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Company have always been involved in some sexually nefarious material. But what is going on now is that they have become more blatant. They have become more obvious. They become more in your face now. And that inevitably leads to the question as to why. I believe that they're more blatant now because I believe personally more people are waking up to the agenda. More people are waking up in this country and the world, but in America in particular, they're waking up to this radical push that is being initiated by the radical left. They're waking up to it. I mean, if you're screaming at someone, eventually someone is going to answer because you're screaming at them. Before it was subtle. You know, you couldn't detect it unless you had the education and the training to detect what they were doing. But now they're like, we want to put this transgenderism and everything else in the movies, in the cartoons. I mean, they screaming it at you. And if you're screaming that type of material at people, clearly they're going to say, wait a minute, hold it, what are you doing? And so the American people are waking up and they're like, well, they're turning away from these movies. They're turning away from these cartoons. Because it's like, you're trying to ram this in our face, man. And you're trying to poison our children. No, we don't want you to do that, bro. We're not going to watch your movies. And accordingly, it says that, according to the article, it says that their stock has dropped by 35%. You know, and which leads to the question, is that going to really hurt the Walt Disney Company? Who knows? It's hurting them a little bit, but if they got other venues, they're going to still push this nonsense. But I always felt like there's a bigger agenda when companies give in to this type of stuff and give in to employees, a small group of woke employees that push this crap, that complain that if you don't do something about this, we're going to protest, we're going to walk out, we're going to do this, woo, 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 woo. You give in to them, and it makes me feel that there's a bigger agenda. That it's not just them giving in to it. This has always been the plan. And if the Walt Disney and Walt Disney Company have had sexually nefarious material in the past, many, many decades ago, it would make sense that the CEO would give in to this type of stuff so easily. Because that's been the plan all along. It's just that now it's more blatant now. It's more in your face. And as I said, as I summarize this video, it's because people are waking up. They're coming out of the matrix that the radical left and the globalists are trying to create for them. They're coming out that matrix. They're coming out. They're becoming unplugged. They're like, wait a minute, man. Hold it. You guys have created a simulated environment for me. And I don't like this. And you're trying to destroy my child, my son, my daughter. I don't like this. Let me unplug. And the real world may not look all that great, but it's the real world, man. I'm unplugged. And when I'm unplugged, I find real peace, real joy, and real strength. Because Jesus said himself, not preaching, but in this video, Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And people are starting to see the truth with Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Company, and they're starting to get set free. So that's just my opinion on it. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.